I think the most impressionable moment I had was arriving at a home when I was a frontline social worker and just popping in to just get some forms signed. And in that moment I came in, it was near the end of the day, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I just walked in and I could see these little pitter-pattering of feet around me, and the foster parent was there at the kitchenette and making spaghetti, and all the kids were up and down at the counter, and each of them had this little role of how they could help with dinner. So one was, putting the veggies out on the tray, and the next one was stirring some other items. And it was this moment, and I could just see this calmness in the foster parent and this relaxed, really comfortable feeling with the kids. And I thought, these are all the little tiny moments that are happening behind the scenes when we don't really get to see them. And this is what shapes these kids and gives them that feeling of security and lets them grow up to be these wonderful adults with close connections and loving memories from their childhood. And so it was a small moment, but I know that there's hundreds, if not thousands, of these small moments always happening. And so it's impactful.
I commend them a lot on what they deal with on a daily basis. It's miraculous, and it's not gone unsaid.
I really appreciate those 4:30 phone calls that I feel really bad making. And the fact that as a caregiver, you're willing to move heaven and earth to bring these kiddos into the home so they feel comfortable and cared about and know that they're still gonna see their parents, that that's not something they're gonna lose. Their circle just got a little bit bigger.
I like the fact that caregivers can be very open to working with social workers, especially in situations where you have difficult family situations or difficult behavioral issues or difficult, different dynamics that happen. So what I like to look at specifically is caregivers that are willing to work together versus, the worker coming in and directing. It's nice to have a partnership where you're working together and developing a plan to best support families and kids.
So the one thing I'd probably say to caregivers is I always appreciate how they are the calm in the middle of a storm. If we're dropping off a child with a planned placement, or if it is a middle of the night show up emergency, they're always calm and settled, and it really helps me feel better that I'm dropping off these little humans to be taken care of in the best way.
If I could say one thing to our caregivers, it would be that I really commend them for stepping up to the plate and taking the kids when they are in the most vulnerable spot probably in their life, and just loving them like they are their own kids. And when you see them come into the office or you go for a home visit and you see these kids who at one time were broken in their hearts and spirits, and you see them with a really big smile on their face, and they're showing you the toys that they got and their new shoes and their new clothes, and they're telling you about all these different sports or activities that they're in and just all the things that these caregivers have done for them. It's truly, truly amazing, and I just really want to say thank you for treating them like your own and for taking them in and being that person for them.
I think they're totally awesome to take in a child or children and treat them as their own and to teach them of life skills, because it takes a lot to bring a child or children into their home and to be with them day and night and to teach them that they're cared for when they come into their home.
I just want to encourage the caregivers, because I think that they have a hard job sometimes and they're raising some kids that aren't their own. And I've just seen today myself a baby that I saw a week ago, and what a difference that made for that baby in a week for being with a caregiver. A baby who had a bunch of struggles. And he looked like he was thriving. He could hear her voice. He was trying to raise his head to her. and he looked great and gained a bunch of weight, and I think that's a really great start. So I just want to encourage them because I've seen that a few times for sure.
The important thing I think is that they care. That's the big thing. They open their homes, their hearts, their families to people that really need somebody. Most of the caregivers that I've met through Yockmeath will give more even than what sometimes you expect. They seem to go that extra mile that needs to be done to have the children feel safe and cared in their home. What I think is so important is how they give up, like they give up part of their life. It's not just that they're opening the door and they're part of the family. They're giving up part of their life as a family to bring another person into it and include them then into the family.
I just appreciate caregivers that are able and willing to open their homes and open their hearts to children who need a place to live. I put my hands up to caregivers that are able to take that on.
I think caregivers are pretty amazing because it takes special people to be able to take someone into their home, into their family, and care for them. So for me, as a social worker, see that there's a lot of really good caregivers that take really good care of their children and are good advocates for them.
You're doing the job of what the Creator called you for, because not everyone can do what you're doing. And this world, you make this world a better place. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Don't stop. Please keep going. We need you so badly.
On behalf of our Yockmeath family, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
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 Hajka Siam.
Yes, you kusai.
Kwasai.
Oh, yes, kusai makwat.
Hajka is thank you. Thank you for being with our family.